Welcome to Aaron Plays. In this video I'm going to be introducing Space Infantry by Lock and Load Publishing. This is the original edition, not the recently released Kickstarter that came out about a year ago. This is the edition that came out in 2011 that I've recently picked up on eBay. It was a used copy. It has been punched and sorted, but I'll go through it as an unboxing and explaining what the game is about as we go along. So Space Infantry is a completely solitary game, as it mentions here, a solitaire level game of combat in the future. You'll be in control of a squad of infantry on various missions. The actual box itself has the details there. Space Infantry is an exciting solitaire game of squad level combat in the future. You'll control a team of 8 to 10 soldiers and specialists on a series of heart-pounding missions that can be played individually or as a campaign. Each mission takes about 20 minutes to complete as your soldiers fight a plethora of adversaries, from human mercenaries to alien hordes. Well, I've recently, since I got this 3 days ago, I have played 2 missions just to re-familiarise myself with the rules, because I did have this game originally back in 2011. And yes, 20 minutes? No, maybe because I'm still learning. I played a mission this morning and it took me 45 minutes. The first mission took me about an hour, so maybe I'll speed up as I go along. Other than that, it plays nicely. Exciting. Again, I'm still learning, so maybe that excitement will come through as I play further and further into the game. At the present moment, it is just learning it, making sure I'm doing things right, and so on. So let's open up. What do we actually get in the box? A set of rules. Now, I've checked up on the internet. These rules are a little bit out of date. They've had errata and such forth, which I've actually downloaded the latest version, and I'll put a link to those in the at the bottom. The rules themselves, I mean, these are black and white, fairly attractive. An interesting font is used throughout. And it does explain most of what goes on, hence the reason for errata and clarifications. But the rule book you do get in the box will at least get you up and running. Next thing is a set of cards. Now, these cards are your teams or soldiers and specialists. So each of these cards has 2 sides, one of which is the veteran and one of which is the standard. Though some actually don't have a veteran side. Sorry, that was a slight error there. So if we look at this chap as an assault team, the various information on him, the name, the point cost, and the 3 skills that he has available, and the amount of wounds he can take. On the reverse, this is his veteran side. The point cost is increased. Still the same amount of wounds. This symbol here denotes that he is a veteran. And the skills, if we just compare them, 4 fire, that's the same. 3 melee, but it's got a little +1 AP. I'll explain all these, what these mean, either in this video later or in probably a follow-on video. And 3 advance. So those are the same apart from the point cost and that +1 AP. Okay, so that's the assault team. And you've got 2 of those. You've got a fire team. Same point costs. However, if you compare the 2, the skill difference is that it's easier, and this is where the numbers come in, it's easier for the fire team to score a hit, whereas it's easier for the assault team to score a hit in melee. But again, I will go through the details in these. And again, the only difference is this +1 AP on the reverse side. Those are and you've got 2 of those fire teams, A and B, and you've got 2 assault teams, he says somewhere, A and B. And they've got more, oh, okay, there we are, A and B. And they are identical. You also have a sniper who has 2 separate skills for firing, a melee skill and an advanced skill, again 2 wounds, 30 point cost, and a veteran side. You have a weapons team, heavy weapons, fire. This symbol here denotes armoured piercing, 2 wounds, so armoured piercing, no armoured save, again point costs. And notice he's got an anti-vehicle skill. A shotgunner, 2 lots of firing, well, melee. It's a melee range. It's not actually fisticuffs, it's just very, very close range. Again, the point costs and the wounds. The only difference on the veteran side is this +1 AP. As this is set in the far future, we have 0G team, A and B. There are certain scenarios which will occur in space, so this will be actually useful. Again, a fire team, melee, and the 0G skill, A and B, and again the veteran side. You have a close combat unit. He's actually armoured, that's what that symbol means there. 2 wounds he can take, 30 points in the veteran side. Again, just the improvement on that +1 AP. You have a squad leader, which is, I presume, is meant to represent you. Okay, can tell you take 1 wound. Notice there's no firing ability on this individual, but you do have command skills, communication, and intelligence, which I will go through. And there's no point. This guy is free of charge. You get him all the time. You also got some specialists: a demolitionist, a scientist, a technician, an engineer, an explorer, and a medic. They all have a point cost, and they don't have a veteran side. So, in fact, they have no difference on either side. So they are the same. So, a demolitionist has got skill in demolitions, melee, repair, and security, whereas a scientist has a skill of science, search, computer, and melee. The point of these skills I'll explain once we actually get to look at what the actual missions entail. And last, we have a vehicle which is used on some of the external scenarios when you're playing actually outside. Okay, so this has got health, it's got armour, and it's got various skills itself. So those are the cards. Those are your team that you will be playing with. A nice deck of cards. I have sleeved these to protect them because they are pretty much in constant use. Next, well, if we've got our guys, you're going to have the enemy, and there are, in the base set, there are 6 enemies that you can randomly choose from. So you've got 1 on each side, and there's 8 cards, so okay. So let's start off with probably the easiest of them to... So it's a bunch of mercenaries, humans. There's various skills and stats on here, which I will go through in the next video. On the other side, you've got some mutants, and you play each scenario against one of these enemies. So as there's 6 enemies here, and there's actually 8 scenario cards that you can go through, each scenario can be played with a different enemy, and then how the enemy reacts is also different. So there's a lot of replay value in that side. So on the one card you've got, let's say, mercenary forces and mutants. Dark roots, which is actually a plant type. And the other side, flesh eaters, aliens. Very nice. Then you've got some robots and you've got some cultists by the looks of it, dark god followers. On the reverse side of each one of these is the turn track, and so it tracks the orders and the resources that your team actually has. I'll show what's in this one in a minute. Then you have in here, these are the scenario cards. Okay, there are mission cards as they refer to them. They have two sides, but each one is a separate mission. So you get on the top here a description of what the mission will be. And these here are various locations that your squad can move through to achieve what's required by the actual mission. So each one of these, so you've got their mission 2, mission 3, and that's an outer space one. Mission 4, no idea, that looks like, well, it's on land because you've got the word climb and advance. Mission 5, looks like it's got some forests in it, so you know, like nice little pictures and various, again, boxes and tracks that you can follow, areas that you can occupy. The words on here, and I'll go again more detail later, are the skill that's required to advance into a particular box. So to move from the start here to go into the scout box, you've got to pass 2 scout checks. To go from here to the advanced box here, you need to pass 3 advanced checks. And then you've got the various codes on here refer to what the enemy might do, and also you've got little letters on here which you can actually pick up some resources. So there are 4 of those, so that's 8 separate missions. And I say with the 6 enemies, well, that's at least 48 combinations. You also have, and this is where this comes in, additional missions which do not have a pre-designated setup. So these are cards which allow you to make up random setups because they sort of fit at various angles to each other and so on. And there are, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know. There are 12 of these. They call them Hive Cards, and you have various Hive missions. Now I've copied these from the actual, these are in the rule book rather than separate, but I've copied these and laminate them. So it has an objective, tells you how many of these, I think they call them nodes, you add, but you don't know what they are until you actually get to flip them over. So they're this way up, and then you flip them, and you then encounter the particular issues and problems on there. So there's a total of 6 of these missions as well. Again, each one of them can be used with a different enemy. Okay, we'll look at those in a minute. So then you've got the counters. Now I put in the counter tray for the game, but the counters are good quality stock. This is your team, and there is another one there. I don't know why you've got an A or a B team, but probably as I go further into it, you might be able to split your teams. I'm not too sure. Other counters for wounds. Your counters, these are general counters that are used for just marking various things that are happening. Event counters, when you have random events occur in an area. There are these counters here are your resources, so you've got SG for some form of gas, I for intelligence, M for the very important medical kit, and various other counters which we'll go through as and when we actually start to play through the system. The other thing in the box I have here is the copy of rules that I download. Notice this one's actually in colour, but it doesn't include the Hive missions in here like the original book is. That's why, hence why I photocopied and put those on laminated sheets. And then you've got your sequence of play on the back. And the last thing I'll show you, you have rosters here, roster sheets, for doing a campaign, which is a series of linked missions against the same enemy, I assume. I'm not 100% certain on that one, but I will find out as I start delving into the game. So, why am I doing this video? Well, as I say, the introduction is to unbox and show you what you can get in this. This game is out of print. However, there are a lot of them on eBay at a reasonable price. This actually cost me just over £10. With postage, let's say it was £13 in total, which for a game, as you can see the quality of it, and there's a lot there, is very reasonable price. And considering the latest Lock and Load edition is actually becoming difficult to get hold of. I think you can still get it on the website, but that's in the United States. In Europe, with postage, that makes it almost exorbitant. Hence why I thought, well, let's get this game again and play around with it and maybe garner some interest in it. That's why I'm doing the video. The next step would be for me to go through the rules bit by bit, not in detail, in absolute detail, because I want to play the game and explain the rules, but at least give you an understanding of what the numbers are on the cards, what I'm talking about when I'm actually playing through the game. And then after that, I intend to actually start a campaign and take a squad through a series of missions. So that's Space Infantry. I find it an interesting game, what I've played so far, and what I do remember playing back in 2011/2012. So let me know. Hit the likes, hit the subscribes as always. Any comments, much appreciated. Until next time,